Hello, Culés. Welcome to the Barca Talk Café. I am Gabriel Quiroga here in Madrid, Spain. Every Friday, Mariana Guzmán of Conexión Deportiva and the ADN Barca podcast joins me from Barcelona as we talk the latest FC Barcelona and football from Spain. Mariana, feliz año. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Hey, Happy New Year. It's true. Oh my God. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, I am good, you know. I overall
Surviving.
Surviving. My beginning of the year was a little bit rough, but I'm okay.
Yeah,
now I'm okay.
You were a little bit sick. It was not COVID, but you're feeling better now. I listened to the ADN Barca podcast and I said, "Where's Mariana?" So I had to message you, and you are feeling better now. So it's good that you're feeling better.
Thank you.
I have an announcement to tell you, Mariana. I just told you like a minute before we started recording. You did not know about this.
No.
We have picked a date for Barca Talk weekend in Barcelona, and it's going to be May 22nd against Villarreal. So whoever can come to Barcelona, we're going to try to meet up like we did before COVID. Obviously, COVID pending. You know, we're going to try to do our best.
Yeah.
But Mariana, we're going to be headed to Barcelona. We're going to hopefully do the live show there. We'll probably hopefully do Barca Talk Café as well there because I'll be able to get there the night before. So I'm really looking forward. The patrons spoke. They voted for May 22nd. So that's what we're going to shoot for that date. Most important, Mariana, Kim is going to be coming. He's going to be our director of food and beverage.
Whoa. No, I am so excited. I mean, I am really happy for this. Can't wait for the day to arrive because it's really I have no idea.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Kim is one of our patrons and he always shares amazing photos of food and beverage in our group. And I told him he has to come because he has to be our food and beverage director to show us around some great places that we don't maybe not know about in Barcelona. You know, you live there. I've been there many times. And so we're looking forward to that. So it should be a fun weekend.
Barcelona is beautiful in May. So
of course.
It's a wonderful date. It's a wonderful idea.
Yes. So anyone who can come, that's the weekend we're going to do it. So Patreon or non-Patreon, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do a live show. More details will come, but that's first thing is to set the date so people can start planning and coming.
Yeah.
All right, Mariana, let's get into it. So we had a Clásico last night. We had a day now to kind of digest, see all the resumens, all the news, everything after the day after, as much as I love to see that. And Barcelona fell short 3-2 in the Supercopa last night in the south of Spain, in Saudi Arabia.
People were like, how are you feeling from El Clásico? You don't feel the Clásico mood. It is not here in Barcelona or Madrid. I mean, it's just, it's like it's not happening. It's surreal.
Yeah. I was telling my friend last night, I think the Federation missed a great opportunity to rotate this around Spain to really highlight cities. Like, for example, could you imagine if it was like in Malaga and then the following year is in Bilbao and then the following year is in Barcelona? I mean, I think that would be so fantastic. I understand.
The problem is that if they did the Clásico in Malaga, they're not earning the amount of money that they're earning here. So this is like a money thing, you know, because everyone is like, how come it's doing? I mean, it's Supercopa de España. I mean, it's totally crazy, but well, money, modern football.
Of course. Well, let's get into the first theme that I want to kind of hit and talk about, and this idea of this moral victory. Now, we got a question from Kim, our food and beverage director, and he told us, he wrote a question into us asking, was the second half like what we can look forward to for the rest of the season? We also got another question from Carlos, another patron. It says, it seems funny to say, but that the Clásico loss felt like a win. So, Mariana, do you believe in moral victories? Was this a moral victory last night?
Yeah. Definitely was a moral victory because if you were watching your favorite show, El Chiringuito, or I don't know, on social media, people were like, Madrid is going to aplastar. I mean, Madrid is going to win, I don't know, for 5 goals. I mean, people were like really really thinking about this Clásico was going to be like it was a Real Madrid win, but it's not only to see the goals, we have to see the game. And I am really happy, because like Kim was asking, like, was the second half our comeback? And in a way, yes. Actually, Xavi was like saying, like, the on the beginning of the match, they were feeling like acomplejados. I don't know how you translate that. Like low spirit, like Madrid, they're better, for
Yeah.
all the situation. But when they lose that complejo,
Yeah.
they were like, now, okay, but we are FC Barcelona and we got this. And it really changed a lot. To me, it really changed a lot. So yes, in a way, it was a comeback on the second half of the match. And Carlos, yes, it is funny, but it makes sense when you look what Barcelona have been through all these all the past years. So it's not only like a 2-3 kind of thing goal. It's like these they were like kids on the midfield. I mean, I don't know. It was just a lot of things. So to me, Barcelona plantó cara. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we are here, and after all, we are ready to face all these clubs in like Madrid or all over Europe. So yes, it is definitely a moral victory.
Yeah, I would say, in that idea of low self-esteem, right? Low confidence, that type
Yeah,
of idea. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So you're right, and I would say just in this season we've been through so much, and to get to this point, and that's why I think really frustrates me even further. I even put that in the chat, was that could you imagine if Xavi was here at the beginning of the season? I felt like this
Yeah.
could have been at the beginning, and that's why I get upset about this, because I really thought that Xavi holding the team at the beginning of the season would have helped further develop and help us get in a better place earlier. And we're seeing that now.
Totally.
We're seeing that now. And like you said, Barcelona basically planted the flag and said, we are here and we're not backing down. Because like you said, in Barcelona, here in the Madrid press, it was like, how many goals are Real Madrid going to score? And I even commented last weekend when on the last podcast, I said, I'm nervous because I don't know how this is going to go. I really hope it's not fly to Saudi Arabia, lose 6-0 and then come all the way back home, like feeling worse than you did. But like I said, this is definitely a moral victory for sure. Now, I want to get to the next topic about Vinicius Jr. Now,
Yeah.
I have been making fun of him for the last 3 years because I think it was a lot of hype, but he's finally come good now because he's actually scoring goals, and he is very dangerous with Benzema. In the match last night, we were in a 3-back system, and Vinicius had, again, way too much room for my liking. And this is one of the issues that I'm kind of thinking about now, because Vinicius is going to be a Madrid player for the next 8 seasons. Mariana, how does Barcelona contain Vinicius Jr. in the future Clásicos? Because again, he was given so much space. He's so dangerous on the counter, and he converted a goal against Araujo, who's one of our fastest defender, most physical defenders. And again, Vinicius is just building confidence with every passing weekend, and he's becoming, he's going to take over Benzema essentially in the next couple seasons. But right now, he's still dangerous. So what does Xavi do in the future Clásicos? Because we're going to face him again in the coming months. Do we go to a 4-back system to protect those sidelines? What do you think?
Well, I think the answer is like pure ADN Barça, like the defenders are not the only one in the field who needs to defend, It's like all the players need to defend and all the players need to attack, And what I mean is the midfield, it's gonna have some work to do to be able to stop Vinicius, because like you said, Vinicius all these years were like people were laughing because he wasn't able to score, and he's like, oh well, take a look at me now. So yes, he's scoring, and he is in a few years is going to be like the la referencia, like the player to watch. So to me, it's not only the defenders, but the midfield to work against Vinicius.
I mean, there was moments last night where he was all by himself on the touchline. And I was telling my friend, sometimes with Vinicius Jr., if you just take him out of the game and don't let him even get the ball, he loses the rhythm, right? And then all of a sudden, maybe you take him out of the game that way. And I think this is going to be a big problem for the next couple Clásicos, because it's going to be how Xavi adjusts to this tactic and then how Real Madrid counters that counter tactic, right? And I think this is going to be a nice cat and mouse game, but this is something that's going to, be very dangerous, because again, last night, again, our counterattack defense was awful, playing against one of the best counterattacking teams in Europe. And Mariana, my next thing is, what does it take for Jordi Alba to get benched? Because last night I was flipando last night. Take away the cross to Ansu Fati. Yeah. Take that away, right?
Yeah.
That's like his first decent assist in a while. But again, Mariana, I was flipping out last night.
I know. I totally agree with you. We did this ADN Barça episode right before the match, and I was like, Jordi Alba was terrible, and Alejandro was laughing. It's like, I'm not getting why you're laughing. Like, excuse me, can you explain a little bit? I don't understand. I mean, this is a really important thing. Right now, he needs someone who can do what he do on the field, like some competition. He doesn't have any competition, and we don't see like on those signing material like anyone who can sign Barcelona for his position. So to me, Jordi Alba, okay, good for what he did for the club, but that's it. I mean, that's it. We got the man. Let's go. It's like, now you're free to leave. Thank you so much, but to me, it's just too much.
Again,
no me gustó.
Yeah. Last night was the epitome of like risk versus reward in defending, which when you are coaching, you say, if you just run and not make that tackle and then miss that tackle in the last goal, especially with Valverde scoring. I mean, how many options did Real Madrid have? Poor Araujo, poor Piqué, because it was the only two people left, because Alba left them to dry. So again, what does it take? There's no competition. And this kind of leads to our next questions that we've been having from our patrons about Serginho Dest. Again, just right before we were recording, the rumors out there that he's going to Chelsea. So we don't know what's going to happen. But my opinion is, why not just put him at left back? Because he may not be offensively more brilliant than Jordi Alba, potentially. But at least I feel like he's faster, and maybe you can give him to play defense a little bit better. But Mariana, what does it take to get this Vaca Sagrada like benched? I mean, to me, if you don't see how bad he leaves the defense, you just don't understand what's going on with football,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you remember, but Dest did a lot of mistakes. And to me, that was like, now he is penalizado for that. It's like Dest did so many mistakes, and I think they lose all the confidence in him. So to me, probably he's going to leave. I mean, there are a lot of clubs. I think there are like 4 clubs asking for him. So yes, Des is not the one who's going to bench Jordi Alba. To me, it's someone new, because I don't see anyone from the roster.
I mean, again, that's going to be next year then. I mean,
exactly.
This is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really, the only way Alba is going to be left out is if he gets hurt. And of course, I'm not going to wish that he gets hurt. But again, it's baffling to me, because, as much as Dani Alves is going to help us for the now, he's 37 years old, and having Alba and Dani Alves as your wing backs, to me right now is going to be a lot of problems in the spring.
Maybe someone from Barca B. I mean, we have seen all these players who are talented, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it goes back to like Xavi having confidence in replacing Alba, Piqué, and Busquets, because last night. We'll see. I mean, in the midfield last night. In the midfield last night, it was obviously a game changer when Pedri came in the second half. Mariana, this guy, he's not even 20 years old. Like, what's going on? Like, when this guy comes in, and when he came into the match, I was like, wow, he just looks like he's been playing for Barcelona for 6 years. Like, he was his first game back since September, and he comes back with this confidence. And obviously, like he didn't miss a thing. What were your first sensations of seeing Pedri back?
I mean, Pedri, he looks like I don't know. It's like he's 27 years old. Like I've been playing so much on Primera División, and I just love the way that when he enters to the field, you can feel it. It's like he's changing the game in 3 minutes. So I'm really looking forward to watch him as in the starting 11. And the same thing happens with me with Ansu Fati. I mean, Ansu Fati is just incredible. And yesterday was the first match for Ansu Fati and Pedri with Xavi as a coach. So, I mean, to me, it was like, I am so fan of these youngster kids. I mean, they're incredible. And Ansu Fati, I can't believe it. He always scored. I mean, that's like, you knew if he's going to play, he's going to score. So that's a really good news for Barca right now. And that's one of the things that actually makes me feel better about this team, because he and Pedri were like out of rhythm, of course, and they still did a wonderful job, a good job. And I want to talk to you about Ferran Torres, but I don't know if you want to say something about Pedri or Ansu Fati before winter.
Yeah, let's dive a little bit deeper with the midfield, then we'll get into Ferran. So, again, like you said, with Ansu Fati coming back and Pedri coming back, that creates a depth. And we got a question from Leroy, and he just asks, with more depth at the midfield, what should Barcelona do with Frenkie de Jong, Puig, and of course Busquets as the main captain? Does this prevent him from being benched or even substituted? So, again, Busquets now still leads the team in minutes, and last night was not good. He had some plays there, and again, I don't understand. I mean, I take that back. I understand why Xavi has complete confidence in Busquets, right? Because he played with him for so long, and he has a lot of confidence in what he can do. But I feel that having a younger midfield, using De Jong when he's healthy, Nico, Gavi, now with Pedri coming back, that gives me more confidence about how dynamic this team can be. And I don't think the team loses that much with having Busquets not playing. He's not giving these automatic, amazing through ball assists anymore. I mean, when was the last time he did that? He does that maybe an opportunity game. But to me, I really want to see Nico in that role, because I think Nico is a little bit more dynamic and he can run back to cover spaces where Busquets can't anymore. So what do you think about now as you just said, with the depth of this midfield, what is the trio that really excites you the most? Is Busquets still in that trio for you, or is it someone else?
No, for me definitely no. I mean, to me it's like and I love it, because I was going to say like Gavi, Nico, and De Jong. I was like, no way, but Pedri. So I like to having those problems to say no, these one are my favorites. But the one thing that I know, and I feel so sad about this, is that Ricky Puig is not a little bit an option. I mean, to me, he must leave. He must leave because he's not going to play. So I'm removing Puig out of this equation. And to me, it's like Pedri, De Jong, because when he is good, when he's focused, he can do interesting thing. And Gavi and Nico. I mean, it's difficult. It is difficult to say only three, but I am so into the youngster of the team. So, well, Pedri definitely must be there. It's like the one that I'm not going to change. Exactly, Pedri, Busquets. To me, this is the season where he must enter on the second half. I mean, this is like the perfect moment, This is a good moment to start this transition with him.
That's a perfect segue, because I love that. I love that so much. Busquets still has a valuable role to this team. I just don't think it's leading the team in minutes. I think having him come in second half, like you said, almost as a closer, like when we had Keita, for example, like that type of player that comes in the last 20 minutes, solidifies the defense, because for 20 minutes he could definitely do it, but for 90, it's pushing it, and that's the thing. And like you said, for me, the midfield always has to include Pedri, and anyone else who's younger is going to excite me because I want to see that. With the youngsters, you can have more dynamic formations, right? You can do a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 3-5-2, whatever you want to do. And like, to me, that really excites me to give that flexibility for the midfield. So we will see. Now, we were lucky to get 2 goals last night. Obviously, with Ansu, like you said, Ansu comes in remarkable. Again, I heard your comment last night on Ande Marso that he has a stable relationship with the goal, right? I love that comment. Like, he does, right? He comes in, and you can't argue with his goal scoring record, which is amazing. But Mariana, the attack still lacks what I always look at: directness and shot making, right? How many times yesterday did this? I want to take Pedri out because Pedri hasn't played, but there's like Dembele. Everyone is always trying to hit a golazo shot. And if anything I learned in modern football in the last 20 years is that a little man who was 5'8" scored 100 plus goals, making passes into the goal. Those are sometimes what you just need to do to just get it on target and make, for example, last night, make Courtois make a save, and you don't know what's going to happen. We almost scored 2 times when we actually shot on goal. More importantly, Mariana, here's my question. Is Luke more valuable in attack than Memphis now?
I mean, the answer is a surprise for myself because I am going to say yes. Unbelievable. People started the season laughing with Luke de Jong. They were like, the bad de Jong, Luke de Jong, like, what? Oh my God, how come Ronald Koeman did this to us? And now he is the one who is scoring, he's the one who is trying, and he's the one who scored at El Clásico. I mean, it's like a headline you can't believe. Like, Luke de Jong scored in El Clásico. Crazy. To me now, from what I've seen on these last 3 matches, I think, yes, he's definitely at this point more dangerous than Memphis. And I mean, I don't want to overreact because we still have a lot of season ahead, but I'm feeling disappointed with Memphis. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I don't see him doing anything interesting in the match. So I don't know what happened with Memphis. I mean, those at the beginning of the season, he was like, yes, he's the one who's scoring, and he's the one, like, we're gonna be back. We're going to be Barcelona again, and you were feeling him, and I have no idea. I mean, sometimes the players are starting to disappear, like Frankie de Jong. Like, they started so good, and you don't understand exactly what happened. But yes, the answer is yes. To me, he's more peligroso right now.
And I think it's really just one thing, is that Luke de Jong understands what is being asked of him, because what he's doing is just really basic number 9 things. He's just going up the middle, pushing the defensive line, and being available for crosses, right? When Memphis came into the match, my friend was even like, is that Memphis? I said, yeah, he's been playing for the last 30 minutes. And it's sad because he doesn't look, he looks unmotivated for whatever reason. And also he's just kind of going through the motions. Like, I don't see him being aggressive to like go after the ball. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing or just being played out of position, because Dembele was on the left side last night for a lot of the time. But again, Mariana, like, I can't, like, I put this in the WhatsApp group. I said, could you imagine me saying this 3 months ago or 2 months ago, that Luke de Jong was going to be more valuable in this moment than Memphis as an attacker? It's crazy talk, right?
It's crazy. It is.
Now, were you surprised that Ferran Torres started last night?
Yes. I don't know why Xavi did this.
Nor do I.
I mean, it's like he had the COVID, he was injured, and he had never played an official match with FC Barcelona. And it's like, maybe he should be at the starting 11 in El Clásico. To me, that was like, what? Doesn't make any sense to me. And of course, he was out of rhythm. Obviously. I don't know. I didn't understand Xavi.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird move, because I think when you come out from injury or in this situation, he hasn't played in a long time with COVID and so forth, just to come in the second half, right? Come in the second half, less is expected of you, right? And anything you do positive, people are going to flip out, right? If he did like a great pass or here, people like, oh, look, he's back. But I feel like it's a weird thing when you start, right? When you start, it's like, okay, he needs to deliver and he needs to
a lot of responsibility.
Exactly. And, he looked lost last night, like, which was normal. And, he had like a auto pass here and there, but like nothing to celebrate so much. Obviously, to get him officially registered, I want to say thank you, Samuel Umtiti, for, doing the contract, because I did not see that coming. In the last podcast, Mariana, I predicted, and obviously it was wrong, I predicted that Ferran Torres would not register for FC Barcelona because I thought with the Dembele contract and everything, but I did not see the Umtiti thing happen. So gracias Umtiti for that.
Thanks Carles Alemán, who is the man who came up with those things. Like, how about if that guy ends up, like, I don't know, rebajándose el salario?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about that, Gabriel? How do you feel?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, even though he is lowering the salary, they're extending it. So obviously he's going to be on the team longer. But again, he did not have to do that, right? He did not have to do that. And again, I would say the one thing, I'm just looking at the attack now that the Ansu Fati is coming back, Ferran Torres is available, Dembele, Memphis, with all these things, I just want to see this attacking just be more direct and actually go to goal. Like, how many times last night, Mariana, they do side to side and nada pasa. Like, it's just wasteful, It's like, yes, there's possession, but there's no ganas to score. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone wants to like score goals. It just seems so passive. What do you think? Is that just me, or is that something I'm just reading more into?
No. You have a point. Even in a moment, I mean, when I was watching the game, I was like, oh, this is slow, If you watch a Premier League match, for example, I mean, you see like different. To me, it was like, yeah, of course it is a thing. you have a point there.
I just want them to be just, taking more chances in directness. Obviously, I know the philosophy is to possess and have a better quality shot than just to go direct and lose it and not have a quality shot. But I feel like the element of surprise is in our favor because we never do it. And I think we need to take more advantage of it. Again, I'm excited to see what we can develop, especially the most important for me is Ansu Fati, because he's the one that's actually converting goals. And that's obviously the future. But again, just to finish this off, I mean, obviously here, the biggest rumors in Spain here are with Haaland. And we have a question from Nicholas, who's one of our newest patrons. And he said, yesterday we got a little taste of what the team can actually become. My question, with all our attackers fit, do we need Haaland?
Well,
what do you think? I say yes.
Yeah. I don't think there's a real possibility at this point of this Haaland signing. I mean, I know that Laporta is like, everything can happen, but I don't believe him. So to me, it's like they say here in El Mundo del Fútbol, es humo. I mean, it's like that's not real at all. But yes, I mean, Haaland, of course, if we can have him, you're so welcome here. Totally.
I mean, Nicholas also added to his question that he said that, Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati can develop to be world beaters, right? To be world, top players. But I still think with Haaland, he's such an alpha, such an alpha, that it would give the team a bit of a swagger and confidence that's been kind of lacking in the last couple seasons. Just someone that I feel like won't take other teams' garbage, that type of thing, and might fight. I think we've been kind of lacking this fight, recently. And I think having Haaland come in, just someone that wants to score 30 plus goals, I think is much needed. I mean,
totally.
Obviously dreaming is free, but I mean, the three of Ansu Fati, Haaland, and Ferran Torres, woof, I mean, that is something to get really excited about.
It's like when we have the triplete, Messi, Neymar, it means like, okay, Messi or Suarez or Neymar, but someone is going to score, so yes, that will be beautiful.
Any other last thoughts of the Supercopa last night? I mean, obviously now Barcelona has the weekend, which is nice to recover. They play Athletic Bilbao next week in the Copa del Rey, but I think, I think it was almost kind of best case scenario. I mean, obviously I would want to win, but also they get to recover this weekend. The team gets to be healthier, get ready for this next push before the next international break. Do you have any last thoughts about last night's Supercopa?
Well, overall, I feel happy. I feel this is a important transition that we're seeing right now, and I feel confident with Xavi. It's like you said, so sad that he was not from the day one this season, but on the other side, good that he's here, and that I think he can do wonderful things. So yes, it was an important match for the culés, and I think people are like with excitement. It's like I want to see my club playing. I want to see them luchando, like
Fighting,
really being fighting, really being there, because I didn't comment that because I forgot, but I really love that when Madrid scored, Barcelona didn't went like, whoa, like it's like it's been happening all these months before. They were like, okay, we're here in the match, we can do it. And to me, that's just so important. And to me, that really make the difference.
I think that's a great point, because normally, like you said, we give up the first goal and there's a bajon, right? There's like this kind of, oh my God, it's us. We can't do it. We don't have Messi. How we're going to, but it wasn't like that. And I think a lot had to do with it, because finally we had depth, it wasn't just 11 people, right? We had a whole bunch of people to help. Like, in the second half, we brought basically almost a new team. We just brought all these new players on. And so, like you said, like there was fight. And again, it is exciting. And again, the moral victory is good. And like I said, I'm really excited to see what they can do against Athletic Bilbao. Well, Mariana, we're going to close off the episode. We have one last question from Tom, who has been super active with all his questions. Great questions, and Tom, but he just wanted to get to know a little bit more of our culedom and so forth. So he asked, what were Gabriel and Mariana's earliest memories or experiences as culers? Your fondest memories or experiences? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No, I want to go first.
Okay, go ahead. Ladies first.
I'm from Venezuela, and this is a country that the main sport is baseball. I mean, back of those time was like even more. Like football was not really a thing, and Spanish Liga tampoco. So I don't know, for some reason, because my brother and my dad was really into baseball, for some reason I started to watch ESPN and started to watch La Liga. And I don't know, it was like love at first sight. I was really loving watching El Clásico. I was like, and no one understood why. I was like, I don't know. I mean, at that point, girls were not allowed to like football. I mean, it's like, oh my God, why is he into football? But I was like, oh, I want to go to Spain someday. So yes, it was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, without no reason at all. I don't have like my family taught. No. It was just me without no reason at all. And you?
Yeah, I mean, and also really quick, I don't think we've talked about this. Speaking of girls, the Femení are going to play in Camp Nou for the Champions League.
I am so beyond excited. I mean, it's a dream come true, and Champions League against Real Madrid is just wonderful, and fans are like really into the match. I mean, in 3 hours we're like, I don't know, 50,000 tickets sold. I don't know. It's just beautiful, wonderful. Can't wait.
It's amazing. So I'm glad they did that, because it's just going to add to the hugeness of the moment, and the women are going to win. I mean, I don't have a doubt between this, because the women have been rolling. Really quick,
no doubt at all. I mean, these girls are incredible. They are better than Real Madrid. I mean, they are better. That's a fact. And in El Camp Nou, I mean,
especially with 50,000 people. I mean, please, like that's going to be amazing. Well, really quick, my earliest memory or whatever is, I was lucky enough to go to the World Cup in 1994. It was in my backyard. It was in San Francisco area. I went with my dad to all the matches, and also the Brazil team, the national team, was training in my actual town. So I got to watch them practice all the time. And at that moment, 1994, nobody cared about the World Cup. So I had complete access with my father. They were playing at the high school, like by our house. Like, it was incredible. Like, there's Romario, Bebeto, right? Like, they're all playing right there, right? And we got to see them. And there was like 20 people in the stands.
What?
With all the media watching, right? It was crazy. But in the corner, basically training with the team, because he was still a young kid, was the original Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. And when he would scrimmage, because Romario wasn't scrimmaging that much because he was, he's Romario, right? And Ronaldo would just take on. And my dad was like, you see that guy? He's going to be really good. And of course, after he went back, he went to Barcelona. And then at that moment too, in the United States, they started showing La Liga, and I saw Barcelona, I saw Ronaldo, connection, done, and that's how I became a Culé. So that's where
that's
it really started.
That's a wonderful history. Mine sucks.
Yeah, but it's still great.
I need to make up something cooler.
But it's still great because it's the attraction of football from around the world that has brought us. And look, and now we're in Spain, and now we fully get to enjoy Barcelona, right? It's one of the reasons why I moved to Spain from the US is because I wanted to live in a football culture day in and day out, and I love it. Like, for example, my daily routine, Mariana, you know this because you're in the WhatsApp group, but at my lunchtime with my Deportes Cuatro, it's like clockwork. I love it so much that, like, for example, today when they were showing the Supercopa highlights, they spent 5 minutes talking about Barcelona's bus that got stuck and hit a parking lot thing. And I was loving it because you would never see that in the States or anywhere else, right? Like, I just love it. I love it. So though, even though your story maybe is not as, as romantic as mine with the football, but it brought us here. Look, now we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to do this. So Mariana, I've held you captive long enough. So I know you just got off work. So did I. We just got off work, but have a good weekend. Relax. We'll talk next week, and have a good weekend.
Igual, bye-bye, adeu.